Hello everybody, welcome to Training Without Conflict podcast again. And today we are tackling a big one, the jackpot myth. For decades, trainers have been told to jackpot their dogs and give a pile of treats or a high value reward to mark an exceptional performance. It's a feel-good idea, but does it actually work? So we're going to unpack what the jackpot myth is and why it fooled so many trainers. Picture this. You're training your dog. Let's call her Luna. We're teaching Luna to sit on a cue, and she nails it. Quick response, perfect execution, and so on. So you're thrilled, and instead of giving her one treat, you basically shower her with a handful of whatever the treats you have, or maybe even a steak or rotisserie chicken and stuff like that. That is the jackpot, a supersized reward meant to say, wow, you nailed it. The idea is that this big payoff will make Luna more likely to repeat that perfect sit. The concept goes way back to the 1980s, popularized by Karen Pryor's book, Don't Shoot the Dog. Pryor described jackpots as breakthrough moments that make training fun and memorable. Okay, it's appealing. Who doesn't love a big payday? But here is the problem. It's based on human emotions, not the dog, not how dogs learn. Her descriptions were, again, emotional, not scientific, and there is no data that showed that jackpots improve learning. Over time, the jackpot eventually became a moral symbol. Look, I don't need to force and use aversive with my dog. I just reward more. I use jackpots, and yeah. But does the dog even understand the difference? Why has this idea survived for almost 40 years? Because it's easy. It's great for marketing, and it flatters the human side of training. Pryor's dolphin anecdotes gave the idea instant appeal. Jackpot sounds exciting, like, hitting the slot machine. It made trainers feel compassionate and science-based. The phrase spread through seminars, certification programs, today social media, echo chambers. It wasn't just a technique anymore, it became a badge of virtue within the whole force-free movement. The force-free advocates framed the jackpot kind of like morally superior. The phrases like jackpot, errorless learning, no aversives ever, became more about identity than actual results. And if you disagreed or questioned the idea, you for sure are becoming an outcast. You become, one of those trainers that are stuck back in medieval times or something. So many went along to avoid the backlash and basically, protect their businesses and careers. Online communities reinforce the fantasy, prioritizing feelings over measurable outcomes. And of course, Of course, humans love the idea that more is better. If one treat is good, 10 must be amazing, right? We project our excitement about rewards onto our dogs, assuming they will be thrilled by a pile of treats the same way we would be by a pile of cash. But dogs aren't doing gambling math or planning for future paydays. They live in immediate actions, and the Jackpot myth totally ignores that. Karen Pryor's later book, Reaching the Animal Mind, I think was 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. But basically, it doubled down on the Jackpot as the breakthrough moments. However, none of the studies she referenced showed any measurable improvements from Jackpots. None. It was always about making training feel more fun, not proving that actually worked better. Dogs can discriminate quantities, no question. They will choose a larger pile of food over a smaller one. But that doesn't mean that they connect effort with payout. So like if Luna, our imaginary dog, gets just a basic treat for a decent set and a Jackpot for the perfect one, she is not thinking, next time I'm gonna aim for the perfect. She's simply reacting to the immediate payoff. Dogs do not build abstract models the same way humans do. They don't stop to think, why did I get so much this time? It must be because of how I performed. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't happen that way. The dog's reward processing is immediate. It's tied to what they see, smell, taste, and feel in the moment. Okay? Handing out piles of treats also can backfire in many ways. Here is I'll try to give you something. Let's say great training should aim for building behaviors that eventually, if not already, but eventually become self-reinforcing, where the dog loves the interaction, the cooperation, the challenge, the whole process itself. They like to do the things that they do with you, right? So if we start showering them with treats, with something that the dog enjoys, for something that the dog enjoys doing, then it becomes transactional. It will shift the focus and the desire to do what they like to do into chasing the next payoff. I hope you're getting my point. I don't want to go sidetrack here. Recently I watched another major force-free conference online. Dozens of credentialed speakers, many continue to push the Jackpot and the high-value rewards as the way to improve performance. And it tells you everything about the depth of their real-world understanding. 40 plus years later, they're still preaching something that has zero empirical support, not in practice and not in science. It is the same recycled idea, maybe repackaged with some new buzzwords by people who have never tested it outside their echo chamber. Pulling the slot machine lever and celebrating the lights while ignoring that the payout was never connected to the behavior in the first place. You might say, but my dog gets so excited when I jackpot, right? Of course, excitement looks good, but excitement isn't necessarily translating to learning. Earlier in my career, I fell for it too. Give you an example, I would jackpot, let's say, for a really nice, fast recall. And then I would do more of a basic type of reward for the average recalls with a slower speed, not as animated, not as precise, and so on. And I was thinking that I'm gonna lock in the right behavior. Of course, my dogs were thrilled in the moment, but those behaviors weren't any stronger later. Not one time I saw any difference. And that's the anecdotal trap. We see our dog's excitement and assume it means progress. But training isn't about only emotional fireworks. It's about clarity, consistency, and most importantly, the results. If anything, the jackpot reinforces the trainer's feelings, not the dog's understanding. They cannot differentiate the way humans do. The jackpot meet has full trainers, again, for over 4 decades. I think Don't Shoot the Dog was like, I don't know, 84, 1985, something in there. This is a very, very long time. Because it's catchy, it's compassionate sounding, and marketed as science-based. It's part of the bigger problem in the force-free movement. The moral framing and fairy tales replacing critical thinking. Trainers deserve better than a feel-good story that doesn't hold up in practice. Real dogs with drives and conflict and challenges and genetic makeups they never fit that fantasy. So that's all I have for you today. Think about that. As I said, in my career in competition or pet training, I have not once seen the change, the improvement that the force-free trainers sell to everyone. I know many of you are still stuck in the fantasy, and hopefully hearing this coming from someone with my experience will at least challenge you to rethink the jackpot strategy if you are implementing it. If this debunking of the jackpot myth got you thinking, share it with your training friends. Have you used jackpots? What worked or didn't work for you? Drop a comment and let me know. Let's talk about it. Next time, I don't know, we're gonna tackle another interesting topic. Take care.